2025 might not bring us Bond 26, but there's still plenty to celebrate for fans of 007. From iconic anniversaries to exciting new releases, this year promises more than you might expect. In this video, I'm going to look at the year's new releases, the big Bond anniversaries, and talk about what I think we need to be looking out for that might indicate some progress at least on Bond 26. So if you're ready, let's go. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and to be honest, it's not mine, but I know many fans do like the spin-offs like Kim Sherwood's 007 novels. The final book in that trilogy arrives in April, but there is another series of spin-off novels due out too, which are the new Q series written by Vaseem Khan. They follow Major Boothroyd as he becomes a crime fighter. So we'll see what that brings to us. But much more than that, I think the release that has got a lot of James Bond fans excited are the release of Sean Connery's Bond movies on 4K. They've been available on 4K streaming, of course, before, but this is the first 4K physical release. When the news broke in December and I did a write-up, that page became one of the most popular on the website for a brief period of time. In fact, it was one of the top 10 in December. So there are a lot of people looking forward to it. And moving on to anniversaries, there are some big ones this year. Probably I have managed to miss something or other. You can tell me in the comments if I have done that, but we can go back 70 years to 1955 and Moonraker. It's not my favorite Bond book, but I know a lot of people love it. And it describes a part of the UK that Ian Fleming knew exceedingly well. So although it's not my favorite, it does have some great descriptions in it. So that is going to be 70 years old. 2025 also marks the 60th anniversary of Thunderball, which for me probably is my favorite Bond film. I've always loved it. I like the settings. I love all the scuba diving stuff, and it probably inspired me to become a certified scuba diver quite a number of years ago. It's hard to believe, but it will be 50 years since Dr. No was first shown on British television on ITV in 1975. I did watch that. But that was not my first Bond experience, which was the same year, a few months earlier, The Man with the Golden Gun on the big screen. So it is a double anniversary there, double 50th there for The Man with the Golden Gun for me personally, and for Dr. No for probably a lot of people who are watching right now. We're counting down the decades. We're now on 40 years, and it is A View to a Kill. It's not my favorite Bond film by far. It is one of my least favorite Bonds. But I know that a lot of people love it. And so if that's you, then you can celebrate this year because it's 40 years of Mayday and Christopher Walken. Moving on to 1995, and it is Goldeneye's 30th anniversary. And it's the perfect opportunity to rewatch Pierce Brosnan's Bond debut. I know that Goldeneye brought a lot of new Bond fans on board. At one point, you would have been considered young Bond fans. Well, probably not so much now. You'll get to my stage soon enough, I'm afraid to say. And then what happened 20 years ago? Well, Daniel Craig was announced as the new James Bond. I remember that vividly. There was a live stream of the event. Daniel Craig was taken by speedboat to HMS Belfast, on which I believe the press conference took place, and he was looking a bit nervous, and there was a huge backlash after he was announced, which was pretty ridiculous. especially in retrospect, because he did prove to be a pretty good Bond, especially in Casino Royale, I think. But that press conference was followed by months of both the press and a subsection of fans really laying into him, which was a bit unfair. But once Casino Royale came out, it kind of proved everybody wrong. And 10 years ago, we had Spectre, which I know most people don't like it very much, and it does have some huge flaws in it, but I kind of loved it when it first came out. And it's one of my favourite Daniel Craig Bond films. So there. And moving on, this year marks the 5th anniversary of the death of Sean Connery in 2020. I'm not aware of any fan events to mark these anniversaries, but I'm pretty sure that something will be going along at some point. So keep your eyes out open for that. Now I want to move on to Bond 26. And it was reported in December, just before Christmas, by the Wall Street Journal that relations between Barbara Broccoli and Amazon have pretty much completely broken down. And reading the article and the way it was written, I think the bulk of what is in there is true, and there is a big problem between Amazon and Barbara Broccoli. So that explains the lack of progress on Bond 26. I think it might also explain why Barbara Broccoli is involved in so many other projects at the moment. If she can't make any progress on Bond 26 at the moment, then she's decided to do something else to keep her occupied until Amazon can sort themselves out. Even though the Wall Street Journal article says that there's been no progress on Bond 26, I do think it's likely that there has been some progress, perhaps on the concept, if not a full script. And without an actual announcement from Eon and Amazon, we need to pay close attention to any rumours and discard the wild speculation and the unreliable sources, of which there are many. And at the moment, we need to forget about the actor because it's far too early for that. If they don't have a script, then they don't have a director, they won't cast the actor. So what we need to be looking out for are rumours on the script progressing, about any writers that they have contacted or signed. Maybe it's going to be Purvis and Wade, maybe it's not, and it's going to be somebody else. I don't know. We need to just keep an eye out for that. Once we have an idea that there are writers on board, we need to look out for rumours about directors. And there have been lots of speculation about directors, but it's never really amounted to much. Maybe they have been talking to directors. Maybe Barbara Broccoli has been talking to directors, but they're not at the stage where they can sign anybody right now. They need the script, remember. So ignore any hysterical headlines. And I think once there is a director on board, there's likely to be an official announcement and perhaps an initial release date. So keep an eye out for all this. And remember also that if Barbara Broccoli and Amazon really can't see eye to eye and they can't move forward, then none of this may happen in 2025 anyway. And if it does happen this year, we're looking at perhaps a 2027 release. It's not going to be earlier than that. Proving to be a bit painful, all this. No Time to Die was in 2021. But I think at some point, something's got to give. Amazon will come to their senses as far as Barbara Broccoli is concerned, or perhaps Eon will sell up. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but I think it's not something to discard either. Okay, so that's what I think about the new releases, the anniversaries, and the state of Bond 26 and what to look out for. But I do think it shows that even without any movement on Bond 26, the world of James Bond is alive and thriving. And I mean, at the moment, my website gets a lot of traffic more than it has done for years, actually. So, you know, there is demand for information about Bond, so there is a thriving fan base out there, which is you. So tell me, what are you most excited about this year? Sean Connery in 4K? The Anniversaries? One or more of them? The new Q series? Or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching.